Welcome to the Chompcast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp, where the crew of Sword Chomp gathers around to discuss their lives and video games and everything in between. My name is Morgan Barnes, and I am joined by my good friends and fellow co-hosts, your beloved crew, Joshua Fowler.
Hey, everybody.
Shea Layton.
Hello, everybody. My name is Morgan Barnes.
And my doppelganger. And Anthony Fisher.
Hello, my name is Anthony Fisher.
Oh, good. I was worried that there was going to be 3 Morgans, and that was going to be too many.
I was helpful.
I'm Spartacus.
We'll start a revolution, and we have kind of oddly fitting, Josh. We are talking Fire Emblem Heroes today as our main game, so that should be a lot of fun. It is Nintendo's massive new mobile game that everyone's talking about. We have some first impressions of Nioh, which is another game that's getting a lot of buzz right now. And then in the news section with Fish, we have some Valve news, some E3 news, some Nintendo news, and some Xbox One news. And I'll leave that vague, but they're all really interesting stories. And I have some interesting feedback from our Instagram page as well. Some listener feedback that I wanted to go over with you guys in regards to mobile games and mobile gaming addiction, which is a serious problem that I'm dealing with right now. And I know Fish can probably sympathize.
We're starting a hotline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need that number to that hotline. Stat.
Yeah, helpline. I tried to get some intros today that were fitting because we had the Super Bowl in America and it was a big deal. You know, we had the Super Bowl. So that's what everyone's been talking about this week, and I wanted to mix that with Fire Emblem. So I got some good intros for you. I did one of these for each of you. So starting off, introducing... Sorry, I threw myself off. Inspired by Kane, coming in at 145 pounds, repping the Red Squad, a war orphan. He wields a brave sword clad in red battle armor, the Bull, as the ladies call him. Anthony Fisher joins us today. How are you doing, Fish?
I'm doing great. Just came out of this war zone and I'm ready to go.
You ready to rock? Been in the war zone all week. The Bull. You like that, the Bull?
I do. I like that. That's Fire Emblem's hero there.
You mess with the bull, you get the fish.
Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, how have you been this week, Fish?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Been taking it easy, I guess, this week as far as gaming goes. Yeah, just been playing 2 phone games, really, this past week and a half almost. So just more Final Fantasy, Brave Exvius, and Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, and don't forget about the games you've been playing with my heart.
I wasn't aware of those.
Yeah, that's I'm right there with you. We got a lot of mobile addiction right now. It's a weird time. It's a weird time when you're spending all your. Is it weird like switching between 2 different mobile games all week?
Kind of. Well, mainly I just go into Final Fantasy Brave Exvius until I run out of energy in that game. Then I slowly click onto the Fire Emblem icon on my phone. I'm like, okay, I guess I got to do this.
That's your side bitch. Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
Yeah, glad you're here, Fish, and a little teaser on some good Fire Emblem Heroes talk, and glad to hear you're still enjoying the Brave Exvius.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a fun show, and inspired by Oboro, coming in at 180 pounds, repping the Blue Squad, tight with the Hoshinden armies, and a self-proclaimed fashionista. He wields a heavy spear clad in orange and gray, a fierce fighter. Joshua Fowler.
I'm fabulous!
Spartacus the Fabulous.
Spartacus the Fabulous. By the way, all of these were inspired by, in the game, your Fire Emblem hero that pops up on my mobile game. That's like your avatar. They're inspired by those, so there was a direction for these. I wasn't just being weird.
I didn't know if you're just pulling shit out of your ass, figuratively and literally and metaphorically, all of the above, but you did good.
Yeah, I did far too much work on these. But yeah, Josh, how are you doing this week?
I'm good. I am good. Slowly getting over the crud I had last week. So, yeah, it's been fun stuff. Yeah, I managed to completely lose my voice over the weekend after the show. So,
That's
yeah,
awful.
yeah, Sunday and Monday in particular, just couldn't talk at all. They just no sound was coming out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're doing better today, because that would have been a crippling thing for our podcast.
Yeah, my wife keeps on trying to get me sick again, though. It's like, should not have given her that much time without me talking, and I don't know. It's just too much incentive now that she knows I can completely lose my voice like that. So.
Oh, yeah, that's the secret. I have like a running tally on how many podcasts Josh has been sick on. It's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Very susceptible to the illness.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a sickness per se, but I guess so. Anyways, I'm glad you're doing better. We need that voice, Josh, to bring the hate.
That fabulous hate.
That fabulous hate. Speaking of fabulous, Shea joins us today, inspired by Camila, coming in at 165 pounds, also repping the Blue Squad. He drifts across the land on his wyvern mount, wielding a brave axe, a bewitching beauty. Shea Layton.
Thank you. 100 of the 165 pounds is in my bra, and I also wield, besides the brave axe, my brave axe. Because I'm bodacious.
Yeah.
Well,
we need to put some like fan dance music behind you during that intro there. Oh yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Dun, dun.
I think I'm gonna have to go find some. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I asked you today, I was like, what's your favorite character? And you said Camila, and I was like, all right. Well, here we go.
Well, she's the one just wrecking lives on that game, but I'll get into that later.
It's too distracting. The Warriors, they just can't. All they see flying at them is this giant pair of breasts, and it's all over at that point.
It is, because I literally bring their heads in, smother them into my bosom, and
Just like that poor small barista.
The bosom smother. Well.
Yeah. No, I'm doing good this week. Kind of like what Fish said. Kind of took a down week. I got a lot of my research done for my research project that I've been working on for seemingly forever. I started it this time last year, so I'm trying to get that done as soon as possible. With the prospect of me leaving here coming up pretty soon. But other than that, I played Fire Emblem a bunch. I contemplated going for this Dead Rising achievement that it's like looming over me. It's been looming for years. I have to basically play the game for 16 straight hours, or 7 days in game. I just can't bring myself to do it. I think what I'm going to do is when I decide to do it, I'm going to plan out so like you guys each spend some time with me on Skype so I can play it.
Keep you busy.
Yeah. I'm just not looking forward to it. But no, and then I started Nioh last night and I played it today. So.
Nioh, yeah, and that's what I'm excited to talk to you about first here, to kind of launch in, because people are excited to hear about this Nioh game that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it did and it didn't. It's the weird thing is like, I feel like with all the good games going to be out in this Q1, that Nioh really got overshadowed because you have Mass Effect Andromeda, you have Horizon Zero Dawn, you debatably have For Honor, all these other games that, and I know I'm missing plenty of good games, are coming out, and just, I think that Nioh kind of got looked over. A lot of people, a lot of like gaming friends and stuff have never really heard of it, and like you guys hadn't really heard of it. And I was really surprised because I was like, it's like samurai / ninja Dark Souls, and
I think it's got to be because Team Ninja, who used to be just one of the biggest names in the industry, and they're still respected, they haven't made anything really super relevant in a while. So I think maybe that's kind of why it slipped under the radar. I'm trying to think of the last thing off the top of my head they made that was really relevant. I know they made that Metroid game.
It was on the PS2, I think. It's been some time.
Yeah, because even though I like that Metroid game, a lot of people did not. So I'm actually Googling it right now. But that's just a hunch that I have. That, when the developer's hot, everyone's following every project that they're going to do until they, like, pretty much surprise you. But yeah, anyways.
That's fair. I mean, like, yeah, I know that they haven't really done much besides Dead or Alive.
Well, Ninja Gaiden was there. That was their magic.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And the first Ninja Gaiden was an amazing game.
I actually just looked it up myself. They're working on the new Fire Emblem game, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I saw that during the Switch announce.
That's weird.
That is weird. That'll be actually... Huh.
Geophysics.
Right.
It's a traditional Fire Emblem game?
Yeah, so it's going to be an action, hack and slash game, and it's coming out for the Switch and 3DS. Huh. That is weird.
Well, and the main thing I was wondering, because I know you're going to tell us a little bit about your first impressions with Nioh, and the biggest thing that got my interest is I was listening to the Bombcast, and they were talking about how it has loot, like almost like Diablo-style loot. I mean, is this true? Is it like legitimately make a game that's really difficult easier? How does the loot work?
So basically, the loot works that whenever you kill an enemy, they'll just randomly drop stuff, and it can be something as simple as literally a stone that you throw at people all the way to like really rare items. And you can get certain abilities in the game that will allow you to get rarer items. And it's interesting because if you don't end up wanting to use the items, you at the little save areas, which are few and far in between, as you guys know from the Dark Souls series, you take them to these little like shrines when you're praying or saving, and you can convert a lot of this loot into levels or points to level up, essentially. So that you're getting points to level up not only by killing people, but selling this loot, which is pretty cool. And each piece of loot, it isn't named differently, and it doesn't look extravagantly different. But they each have slightly different abilities. So
is it like color coded, like blue, purple, yellow, all that kind of?
Yep. Pretty typical of that. But
have you like found anything like really cool that made something really much easier?
Right now, I actually just found a pair of gloves that give me increased damage and resistance to yokai, which yokai in the game are basically oni or demons, in accordance with the lore, the folklore of where this game takes place, which is Japan. But they're extremely difficult to fight and kill. They're the hardest creatures in the game, and that's where a lot of your bosses come from. So if you can find gear that helps you when you fight these bosses, it's incredibly helpful. So I'm using one of those.
Okay, I was just curious because the loot, when I hear loot, I'm just like,
Yep, I know you're about to loot. Yeah, so I've really been, to kind of switch gears real quick, I've really been enjoying the game. It's been really difficult though, and obviously I know this is heresy. I never played a Dark Souls game, never played Demon Souls, never played Bloodborne, so this is my first like true entrance into that level of difficult gaming, and it's been fun. I mean, I'm kind of like to inflict mass amounts of pain on myself when I game. For instance, Super Meat Boy always comes to mind. I was getting frustrated today because I was trying to do the same part like 10 times over, and I was like screaming in my house when no one was around, and I was punching my controller, and I was taking breaks because I was like, all right, I'm getting too pissed. It's just a fucking game, the typical Dark Souls experience. But
well, I mean, and then to be fair, like Bloodborne, as much as I loved it, the only reason I stuck through that game is because I could team up with Fish and Josh, and they could like help me beat bosses. But like, if I didn't have help beating some of the bosses in that game, I don't know what I would have done.